Okay, here we got 3 waiting, 3 likes, 3 waiting, 3 likes, 100% record. Thank you, lovelies. Who's here? Say hello when you get in. So we've got a few topics to talk about tonight. Hi Patrick, how you doing, mate? Do you recognise anything on the screen? Hi Jen, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming along. Hi Snow Pony, hi Lady Likeables. Thanks for joining us. Carol's here. Carol's in the house. Hi Carol, thanks for joining us. Say hello to each other. All good. How do I look? How do I sound? Am I alright? Yeah. Oh, this is saying it opens a stream. Let's have a look. Stream is healthy. Right, leave me alone. Stop nagging me, stupid machine. Right. So we've got a few in already. We've got 7 concurrent viewers. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. Right. What we got? I'll go. Great, that's good. I'm hoping I don't get a glitch. What I've done this time is let me show you. If I show you desktop, if I show you desktop 2, I've got that up and running because it's just a ping, and what it does, it sends out a ping every couple of minutes, and it works a little bit like a speed tester. In fact, that's what speed tester does. It sends pings out and times it, and it's looking a little bit erratic at the moment because there's lots of weird times in there, but yeah, it's should stop them from trying to throttle my internet, because I'm pretty sure they put monitors on speed testers. I'm pretty sure they do that. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. Right, here we got who's just come in? Risa, hi Risa. Hi Risa, thanks for joining us. Right, well, I better go and shut that door really, because my brother's gone to bed, so give me a sec. I'll give you... Oh yeah, what I'll do is I'll quickly send you into maximum warp drive. Yeah, we've got a good crowd in today. Hi, Emma. Emma's in the house. Say hi to Emma. A flavour of life the sustainable way. Right, some of you guys I see have got channels. If you want others to look at your channels, put an X in the text, just like I've done. And then the others will know that you're looking for subscriptions. And let's all connect up to each other. Why not? Hey, just say hello. And if you like it, enjoy it, subscribe. Right, let me just doing a little bit of clearing up. Right. I've added another category. I advertised on YouTube a couple of different categories, and in my chat, but I've added another category, and the category is Tosser of the Week, and that will be awarded to the one who's given the worst comment or the most useful comment, useless comment. So I've got that guy somewhere. Where did I put him? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll show you this. So it's this dude here, look. This dude here. And it's you follow these out, and it's always somebody who's you know, the channel's got absolutely nothing in it, because all they do is they're cowards, basically. They just hide behind their behind these empty channels to troll people. It's like a sport of theirs, really. It's annoying, but you just have to get used to it if you're a YouTuber. But it's this one, trash, worst YouTuber I've ever watched. So, Timmy Julius, well done, mate. You've got yourself the award of Tosser of the Week. And I replied, I'm leaving this comment up because it says a whole lot more about you than it does about me. So, that. Right. Anyone else come in since I've been not looking at the screen? Are you still hearing me all right? Hi Maria, how you doing? It's been ages. I think YouTube has got a strange way of kicking people off my subscriptions list. So if you click the let me show you. Everyone say hi to Maria. If you click, let me see if I can get a video up and show you. Here we go. No, I can't show you at the moment. My head's all popped. But you have to ring the little bell as well. You subscribe and then you ring the little bell. Right. What have I missed? Hello. The Russian peas. Oh, right. Oh, well done, Carol. All right, right. Subjects. What other subjects did we say we'd be doing today? I did say that we'd be doing. Have any of you got any questions before I carry on with this? Right, I'm going to talk about my business launch, because it's what I've been doing all week and it's totally worn me out, and I'm happily sitting here supping on my cup of tea and relaxing now, because I've definitely earned it. That's my new website. So I'm going into business actually building websites for people. It's something I've been doing for years, and I've just been started off as a hobby, and I just got slightly better at it, and until I feel now I'm comfortable enough to go putting websites up. I think it's important that a website is really quick, so I've put it through a speed thing and improved the general speed of it. And one little naughty trick I did was this. You see that video there? I put that in there. I can actually show you how I did that. Let me see. Where was it? So if I put that up and then open this, open recent, let's do it this way. Let's get that up. So that's the picture I was working on. Let's make it large. And one thing I like to do, right click and scale the image down. Yeah, it's down to 72 pixels, because that, you don't want the images too big because they take ages to load. And the other thing is something like that. Right, so that's rather a big picture, but I'm going to put that picture on that TV screen, so I'll show you how to do it, and it's real quick. The first thing I want to do is go to my measurement tool and just get a rough idea of what sort of size it is by dragging it and measuring it. So down here it tells me what size it is. Down here 411, so we'll call it 412 pixels. Okay, so let me go to here, and then I'll resize this, scale it down to 412. Oh, look at how many XY resolution pixels that is. Way too much. 72. That should do it. Then we'll scale it down, and then I copy that. I can do it this way. Edit, copy. And then what I do is I create another layer on that. It's just like a transparent layer I put on top, and then paste it in, and then use the movement tool to move it around. So what I do is I put the bottom corner where it's supposed to be on the TV, and then I use a really clever tool called the perspective tool to go in there, and it looks a bit daft when you first do it, but I mean that's just it basically. I normally go much closer in, like if I do something like that, to just to make sure I'm bang on screen with it. And then I blend that down because it's floating at the moment, so I blend it down. Oops, wrong. Let me put that in again, just roughly. Create that. Oh, I forgot to paste it in and then do it. It's because I'm tired. It's late at night. Forgive me, boys and girls. And put that in there like that. It's really simple, really. I'm using a program called GIMP, and it's all free. So then I enter, and it stays in that perspective. Now, there's one thing I want to do is make sure that that layer is selected, and then go to filters and put a little blur on it. So I put a Gaussian blur on it. That's a bit too much. That's about right. And that's it. So you end up with a picture that looks like he's actually looking at my picture on his desk. Crazy, yeah? Right, let's relieve you from that so you can see my beautiful face again. And we'll kill that because I don't want to see it anymore. I need to see you guys. Right, who's come in? Let me scroll up and back. John and Rebecca, hi. Hi, John and Rebecca. Did a steak the other day on video. Make sure you check out Cast Iron Skillet Kitchen. Great channel, lovely channel. Two lovely people. Real. Yeah. Thanks, Maria. I think the maple syrup's done now, Carol. If you're on Facebook, you want to hook up to me, and then we can all get together and start looking at each other's stuff. There's quite a few of the other side of the Atlantic crowd on my Facebook. Quite a few. And there's even one bottom of the Pacific crowd, Patrick. Or actually, what's the sea down there? Southern Ocean, isn't it? That is much too generous, John and Rebecca. That is much too generous. John was a real chef. He was a real, was it Navy or Marines? You were a chef, Marines, I think. He was in the US Marines as a chef. So he can certainly knock spots off me in the kitchen. I'm just a fat bloke with a kitchen, you know. Yeah, they are great. I agree. They are great. It's very compelling watching, really. It's like at the end of my day, I sit down and watch their videos, and then I just kick back, relax, and just wait. Yeah, it is Marines. Yeah, I thought so. Thank you for your service, sir. Right, the next thing I want to show you, and those of you with channels will probably want to watch this. I've started something called Cup of Coffee. I don't know if any of you already know about it, but it's this thing. It's called BuyMeACoffee.com. If you look up there, BuyMeACoffee.com, and in the box below, sorry, the description box below this video, you will see my link to my dashboard. Sorry, this is my dashboard, but my page looks like this. And on it, you can set things like, what I've got is you can book a just 15 minutes of Zoom time face to face with me one-on-one. 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 60 minutes. So that's for anyone, you know, for any reason they want to. If they want to find out how to make an omelette or something, or just ask me anything, a technical question about making videos, I'm happy to help. And there will be other perks in there. I think I did a post. What I might do is start putting in posts in here ahead of them being released on YouTube, something like that. But I haven't decided what to do with it yet. But I think it's rather good because, you know, people can't afford to send you $20, $30 and all that. So it's just say, hey, look, send me a cup of coffee. And I think I've already had one, actually. Yeah, I have. It was... Oh, it's not come up. Has it rolled off? I don't know. I've got to learn how to use this interface yet. But you could do quite a lot with it. It's rather useful. If I show you the dashboard, it tells you all the sort of things you can do. You can put in all these different extras like Zoom event tickets, ebooks, one-to-one consultations. That's what I've done, really. Art commissions. So, for instance, you can click that and you could create a consultation, like a 2 or 3 hour consultation. And you can drag in an image, you know, to back up your advert. And then you've got to link it up to your calendar, where people who click on it, they can go to your calendar, and you create links in there that you can hook up to, and they actually book the time on your calendar. So it's really quite useful. So there it is, buymeacoffee.com. So if you guys with channels are interested, you can perhaps draw in a few bob more revenue when you need it, because times is tough right now. Times are really tough. Even cocaine dealers are going round on push bikes. Right, where was we? I forget where I am, you know. I'm getting a bit old. I've lost something. Right. Ugh. Are you still there? Because I thought I'd lost you there for a minute. Looks like I'm still transmitting. No, still live. Yeah, or if you look in the description below the video, Snow Pony, you can see there's an option, an alternative to PayPal, and that is... oh, let me get a video up and I'll show you. So there's the Buy Me a Coffee there. There's a link there for it. You can also go to Amazon and set yourself up with an influencer store. But I showed you all that last week, how I'd done that. And but you basically set yourself up an influencer storefront on Amazon, and then you can just, as you're surfing and you say, oh, that looks good, you can just add it to the list, and then it automatically appears on your storefront. So it's really easy to set up, and you get a little commission for everything that's sold through your link. So what I've done is I've taken my link, which was huge out here, and then I used something called Tiny URL to you paste the link into there, and then you make Tiny URL, and then it comes back with something like this, a really small URL. The other thing you might want to see is, oh, doesn't look like it's here. Oh, I don't know what's happened to that. Oh, it's a really old video, isn't it? Right, okay, let me go to a newer one. And if you go in here, if you go to this video, what I'll do is I'll post the link in the chat. One sec. There you go. You go to that video, and you'll be watching what I'm watching now. And then, if you go, I've got my Buy Me a Coffee link, which may or may not work. Yeah, it does work. And I forgot the name of it. That's why oh, there we go. You can set, if you've got a PayPal account, you can set yourself up with a donation link from within PayPal, so people can click that, and it takes them to their PayPal. And you just create a link within PayPal, and it gives you a donation link, so they can click it and put in as much as they like. But the alternative to Patreon, I wouldn't use Patreon after they banned a few people, and I disagree with them getting involved in stuff like that. It's not their business to censor people. The My Subscribe Star link, and that's the one I use. So it's you can click that, and it takes you to my Subscribe Star page, and you can sign, if you don't have a Subscribe Star account, you can sign up there. So I hope that helps you. That is that. So, right, let's come back to you and see who's saying what. Right, what we got? Right, what we got? We got Emma talking about a what, I'm not sure what you mean, Lady Likeables, about the webcam. What I'm using to do this live with is something called OBS. And if I show you maximum improbability drive, you can see the interface of it. So let me turn that off. So the one that was just up on desktop 2 was this. This is how I'm seeing this live stream. This is how I'm seeing it. And on my other screen, you were on my other screen is desktop. I'm watching that on desktop too, and on the screen you don't see, I'm watching this. I don't normally see that. I'm only seeing that now because I'm showing you that. So it's gone into maximum improbability drive, as I call it. So you can probably see, I don't know if you can see my cursor moving, probably, but it's not showing you the whole screen, is it? No, it isn't. Not until I come into it. Yeah, but below it, as I show it, yeah. You see, I've got the different desktops set up. So it's not as hard as it looks, and there's lots of help on YouTube for people who want to set up, and it's called OBS. OBS is the software, and what you can do is you can call up functions like here. So I look into that, and then I can add a media source or an image or a screen capture, you know, like from my video camera and that sort of thing. I don't want to mess with this too much right now because I might break what we're doing right now. And the other, you can do all sorts of things, like you can set the sound, you can set the do all the settings. And what I did is basically I made this backdrop picture, and then I let panels into it by calling in another video. So I've got, this is Patrick's submission to the YouFood challenge that he sent along, and so I'm giving you a little sneak preview of that. If you want to know more about that, you're going to have to watch the video, and the video will be up on Sunday. Is Bren with us yet? Bren's Den? Because the other one we've had that's sent in stuff is Bren from Bren's Den. Bear fat, wonderful stuff. I've been chatting to Emma about it for several weeks now, and she's been lucky enough to secure a stash of bear fat, and she's been rendering it down and cooking with it and making ointments and tinctures. Oh, not ointments and stuff with it, medical stuff. Yeah, apparently it's more delicious than pork back fat, John. Imagine that, more tasty than pork back fat back. No, you're not going to. You might find koala bear fat, Patrick. Koala bear fat, but it'll taste of eucalyptus. I don't think that's a good taste. I don't think it'll be good. I carried I went to a zoo while I was out in Oz. I ought to flip through a few pictures for you, let you see that. That's a bit of fun. I was out there for a month in 2010. I had a fantastic time. Went to this zoo, and I was cuddling a koala bear, and lovely creatures, and they're damned if they don't smell of eucalyptus. Well, they feed on gum, on a certain type of, a few different types of gum tree, so they eat the leaves, and so that's where the eucalyptus comes from. The gum trees are full of eucalyptus oil, which is why Australia gets such terrible bushfires. Yeah, I wish I could get hold of some of that bear fat. I'd love some of that, really would. Yeah. The Emma shot a what was it you shot? Was it not a raccoon? The other one, a porcupine. Yeah. Emma shot a porcupine. No, yeah, a porcupine, and she shot it in the winter. It was causing trouble, and it had been feeding on pine bark, and it tasted disgusting. She said, "We had one when I was over there." What did we say about it, Emma? I mean, Emma did a great job of cooking it, but I found the meat. We all found the meat rather bland. So it's a survival kind of meat. It's not something you would seek out for bush meat. He's like a koala, except he smells of whiskey. Dear, it's too early in the morning for you, mate. What time is it anyway? It's after. Just into the afternoon in Melbourne, isn't it now? Round about that. Been to Melbourne. I love Melbourne. I talked about Melbourne last time, didn't I? Yeah. 4 or 5 out of 10. Ugh. I couldn't eat a piney porcupine. Maybe that's why they call it porcupine, because it's like pork, only it tastes of pine. Yeah, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing. So you got to the one that Emma cooked later, that she shot later in the year, was a bit obviously more palatable than that. Now, as long as the sun's over the yard arm, eh, Patrick? That's what we say. Right, has anyone got any questions? Get your notepads out, boys and girls. Read your questions out. Someone bought me a coffee. Who bought me a coffee? Oh, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So, let me just show you what I'm doing now. So I'm going to I've clicked on the thing to respond to it. And it's someone bought me a coffee, so they've remained anonymous. Thank you very much, whoever it is. And if it's someone watching this video, thank you very much indeed. So let's, and then I just put in a response. There we go. Thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate that. So there you see, I've been talking about it, and there you see it in action. There we go. Yeah, there's a little bit of lag I'm noticing from my keyframe. Well, we had that problem last time, didn't we? And then I click open the widget that it's telling me to open, and then it tells me there's nothing wrong. Still no questions. Thanks, Snow Pony. I really appreciate that. Really do. That's a really generous and kind gesture. Thank you. I've got it already, look. It's amazing how fast that works. Great system. Cold tea. I'm collecting mugs here. I got my good old trusty computer mug. The Story of Computers. That's a nice mug actually. It's made of bone china. I got my old generic mug. Right. So, any more questions from you guys out there? Let's drive some questions in. So we've got something to do here, something to talk about. Sorry, I'm getting caught up, not talking. Any more questions from anybody? I know there's definitely 7 of you there. Good night, Snow Pony, and thank you for joining us, and thank you very much for your generous tip. I'm really great. I love the caffeine. Are Starbucks mugs collectible in Wales? Well, we have Starbucks here, so I assume so. It's not something I could collect myself. Yeah, I'm not sure, Carol. I don't really know about that. A Resist mug. Oh, yeah. I did. Yeah, I remember that. I bought you that mug. Yeah, still only 2 entries for the food challenge. So I've had an entry. Let me put that up. That's one you're going to want to see, but it's only stills and a recipe, so I'm going to put that up on my let me show you that, on my Lazy Cook blog. So it's blog.lazycookpete.com. so that will come up here, and it will appear rather like some of my really old recipes. Let's go back to let's go even back earlier than that. If I go back to 2011, when I put most of them in, I did recipes like this, so they came up in that format. So I've actually done Gurkensalat as a video, but that's the original pre-video era recipes. Let's see what we got in here. That's from my friend Mai in Finland. Let's have a look. So in there you can just type something like pork, and it should give you a short list of pork dishes. That's a nice one, that Dan Dan Mien. That really is nice, that is. Let me give you that one. I'll put that in the chat. Let's put that in there. Too many windows open, I think. Looks like I've got a Twitch on my live stream. I'm not able to enter anything on the live chat, and it seems to be frozen. So if I'm missing your comments, I'm going to have to kill that and come back in. Damn it. Let's do it this way. There you go. Right, I'm doing it a different way now. I'm watching myself on both screens now, because I'm actually watching the video as you are. Yeah, it's really is a great recipe, that is. I love that recipe. I really do. So there is a recipe on here, and I've seen other chefs do it, and it's one of my own recipes from years ago. Let me show you. You might have seen other people do this, including a rather famous chef has done it as well. Not in there, it's there. So if I do ribs to die for, oh my gosh, they are so good. And what I did was let me paste that in there so you can taste the ribs to die for yourselves. What I did was I fused Chinese red cooking and American barbecue together to make these wonderful ribs. And what you do is you can either leave them like that, or cut them up into, leave them American style, or cut them up into individual riblets like the Chinese do. And you can freeze the stock you cook them in and use it 2 or 3 times, because you cook them with a stock made of sherry, chicken stock, and star anise and soy. Quite a lot of soy. So it's a cup of dark soy sauce, cup of dry sherry or Chinese rice wine, a cup of chicken stock, 4 cloves of garlic, 3 tablespoons of soft brown sugar, onion, carrot, celery, stock veg, and a slack handful of star anise. And boys and girls, I can tell you that is fantastic. It really is a great recipe for ribs, and it's ribs like you've never had before. They're not like they're not like Carolina barbecue sauce, and they're not like Kansas City barbecue sauce. So they really are something quite different. Nice stuff. Really nice to eat. I really ought to do that as a video, but I've been sort of putting it off for a while. There's just so many ribs videos out there, and it gets lost in the it'll get lost in the crowd, I think. I should have done it years ago, but I just haven't been thinking about it. Yeah. So there's other people's on here. So if I do, you might see some. I was looking for cast iron skillets that are put up here, but I tend to put a lot of people's videos in here, so ones that I particularly like looking at. So there'll be recipes like this one. They're not my recipes, they're just things, it caught my eye, so I think, my people will want to see that. So if you come to my blog, you'll see not just my stuff, you'll see stuff that I like, stuff that I've shared on my social media. I also share to Facebook and Twitter, and what's the one, the picture one, I can never remember. Share Pinterest, that's it. So I don't know how many of you actually know about this, but once you set up your social media in YouTube with the links to your own social media pages, you can actually share it using this. So that sends it to my blogger, the one I've just shown you, the blog. That sends it to Facebook, obviously, Pinterest and Twitter. So they're all set up. So as soon as I post a video, I send it to all those. Make sure you'll get it. Right, who's saying what? Right, I think I missed a question from Carol. I saw one flash up. Ah, there it is, yeah. Right, one sec. Let me just kill this and then we'll go back to the questions. Right. Emma wants to raid. Yeah, Emma likes cheese and garlic. There it is, Carol. Pete, if you had to challenge a famous chef to a throwdown, who would that chef be? I'm not really much on TV chefs. I like. I did like Jamie Oliver, but there was that skinny punk one. He looks like someone who hated food. Never understood him. Gary Rhodes, that was him. I never thought much of him or his recipes. Jamie Oliver's all right because he's so enthusiastic and he doesn't mess about. He just gets on with it. A throwdown. Yeah, if I could challenge any famous chef to a throwdown, it would have to be my great late hero Keith Floyd. I loved Keith Floyd. He was fantastic. And he was one of the pioneers of this. We spoke about him last week, so it would have to be Keith Floyd, I think. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. I also like Rick Stein. I kind of like him as well. I like his food philosophy. Cheese and garlic. That's Emma's penicillin. Cheese and garlic. Pork adobo. You mean? How do I make it so it doesn't? Well, it does taste of vinegar because adobo is a vinegary dish. It's a Filipino dish, and it's typically the pork or chicken is stewed in a half and half mixture of sweet soy sauce and vinegar. So it's a kind of sweet and sour dish, but it's not. Yeah, R.I.P. Keith Floyd. It's not sweet and sour as you would think of it in the Chinese sense of the word. It's not that tangy, you know what I mean? So it is slightly sour and it is slightly sweet, whereas particularly in the UK, sweet and sour is often hideously sweet from takeaways and not sour enough. We're all built differently. I kind of like sour and bitter flavours. Gordon Ramsay. If I was in the same kitchen as Gordon Ramsay, there would be fur flying. I'm not the sort of person who lies down and takes abuse. I have to. I'm a bit more alpha than that. Yeah. Rick Stein and that dog. Blimey, it was horrible little git, wasn't it? It was a horrible thing, that dog. Creature. Yeah, it went for typical. What was a Jack Russell Terrier, wasn't it? And I think his channel went downhill after the dog die. People only watched it to watch people get bit. I did like Rick Stein, really good. I mean, when I've actually eaten in Rick Stein's restaurant, had a fruit de mer, a large fruit de mer in his restaurant in Padstow, or Padstein as people call it. Yeah, that was very nice. That was a wonderful experience. That was a really good meal, that was, thinking back. Anybody got... Yeah, John Turode. Yeah, he's an Aussie, isn't he? Yeah. I think Patrick's a better cook than John Turode. The thing about Patrick is he's inventive. He does crazy stuff, and I love crazy. It's the mother of invention. You just got to do it. You got to throw in. Oh yeah, Emma. We went. You know the White Cliffs down near Swanage. In Dorset. Went down there with an army group, and one of the group was a lady officer who'd brought a little doggy woggy with her. You know, she brought a little doggy with her, and it was a little cute Jack Russell Terrier. but we got to the hills just above the cliffs, and the dog just went mental because there was rabbits everywhere, and the dog just ran around yakking them all. There was this poor girl looking at her dog that was going around just killing everything in sight. Oh jeez, that was crazy. Things I did when I was a young soldier. We were climbing on the hills on the cliffs at Swanage. It was a sort of rock climbing thing. They were very dangerous, the cliffs down there, because at the bottom of the cliffs you got these kind of granite shelves, and people get a false sense of security and they stand on them, and then gigantic waves come along and sweep them into the sea, and lots of people get drowned that way. So it's a bit dodgy. Yeah, it just went nuts. A sweet little cute pooch. She lets it go. Out of the. We went down there in an army bus, and she let the dog go, and it just went mental. Every single, the poor little rabbit's going along, and then the dog on the back of its neck yaks it, shakes it, leaves it there dead, and moves on to the next one. Terrible. They're killers, Jack Russells. And have you seen the fangs on them? They're like great big fangs, huge fangs. I mean, for the size of the dog, it's like that Warthog aircraft. It's like a Gatling gun with a plane built around it. Well, a Jack Russell is a pair of fangs with a dog built around it. Oh, John Turode, yeah, he's like a posh Aussie, isn't he? But he lives in, I think he lives in England actually. He ran a double Michelin star restaurant somewhere in posh London, something like that. But he was for years he was a panel judge on one of those food judging competitions. I don't like them myself. See, the way I think, I don't think everybody should be a gourmet and try to do fancy gourmet food. To me, a food has done its job if it looks good, tastes good, and does you good, So, but I'm not really one for. I like to present it nicely, but I don't like. That was it, MasterChef. I don't like to mess around too much with the food after it's cooked. And the other thing that really annoyed me was that nouvelle cuisine in the 80s and 90s. what they did, they started arranging the food on the plate like the Japanese have been doing for 2,000 years, and then they had the nerve to call it Nouvelle Cuisine. Right, Lady Likeables, your name is Helen, right? If I don't remember it next time, I get one of them. So, Kenda's here. Hi, Kenda. Yeah, that's Patrick's dish. You'll have to stay. You'll have to stay tuned, Kenda, if you want to see that dish with sound and instructions, because that is Patrick's entry for the U-Food challenge. He sent me that footage, and I'm going to collate it into a video. And of course, the other benefit is, that will be shown on my channel to all my people. So, right, where are we at? James. Hang on, amen to that. Someone else would just simple as possible. IC Memes, thanks for joining us. Is it LC Memes? James King, thanks for joining us. Everyone say hi to LC Memes and James King. If you are a channel owner, put an X down in the comments just like that, so people know you are and know to go to your channel and have a look, and if they like you, they'll join. Right, so James, there was a question before that, wasn't there? Let me know if I missed your question. Right, IC Memes, hi, can you react to Ram Ranch, please? I think it's the greatest song of all time, and I want to hear your thoughts. I don't know Ram Ranch. I don't listen to chart music, so sorry. Does anyone else know about Ram Ranch? Can you give them, LC Memes, your thought? What's the new business? Right. Let me show you that on the desktop. It's business services. It's building websites, and if I show you my services, that's kind of what we do. That's what I do. So website design, logo design, SEO marketing. I will do videography. I will even edit other people's raw footage. I do e-commerce website, shops, storefronts, and I also do the technical support that will support that, and also do additional technical support for people working at home or working from home. And I like to build fast, beautiful websites. The problem I see on a lot of websites around is that is not really about the beauty. It's that they try to explain too much on it. You don't need to have too much information on the website. You can just little things like that, and then do the rest face to face if you can. That's the way I like it anyway. That's my philosophy. And that way your website will be super fast. I think I did rather well on what was the Where's the website? If I do that, that was my. I ran my website through performance test and I got it 99 for page speed. So I've optimized that rather well. I've done pretty good with that one. And I was showing people earlier how I managed to get that. I was messing around with GIMP and I used the perspective tool to put my screen overlay on his screen and then gave it a Gaussian blur to make it look a little bit more real. Yeah. So that's what I do. I design websites. I also design the logos. I've designed quite a few logos in my time, but there's a few there that I've done in the past. The one I like the best, well, there's two I like the best. I like Ardo's because it's simple and nice, and the other one I really like is the Iceni Bushcraft Trust. I really do like that. I really like how that looks, and it's one of the very first ones I did, so it's a little bit. It's not technically very good, but the idea behind it is rather nice, you know. Yeah, so that's what I do. Right. Jen, do I practice Buddhism? Kind of. Yeah, I'm a rather spiritual person, but I'm not old-fashioned religious. Haggis are very dangerous, Helen. They in the Highlands, the haggises have got short legs on one side of the body and long legs on the other side of the body, so they can run around the hillside without falling over. But that's Burns Night. That's in March, isn't it? When you have haggis and neeps, and they recite poems by Rabbi Burns. We Kelrin timorous beastie, things like that. What was that, ode to a mouse or something? Oh, thank you very much, James. Appreciate that. Thanks, man. Yeah. Getting out and about now, isn't it? I've done quite a lot of stuff out and about on the trike with my brother in and around North Wales in better times. The secret with adobo is getting the sweet sour balance right. That to me, that's the secret. Don't just mix soy sauce and vinegar together, but use Asian vinegar. Use the white Asian vinegar rather than British vinegar. British vinegar's stronger. I think Asian vinegar's normally about 15. No, British vinegar's about 15%. Asian vinegar's normally a little less, and it's rice vinegar usually. If you're going to make the way I try to do it is if I can possibly do it when I'm doing Asian recipes, South Asian recipes, is I will use the soy sauce from their country. So I'll use Thai soy sauce for Thai dishes, and I'll use Chinese for Chinese dishes, and I'll use Malay for Malay dishes if I can get it, or I'll try and approximate it somehow, because they use quite a lot of dark sweet soy sauce in Malaya and the Philippines, and their vinegar is Philippine vinegar is really nice. You can normally get it in a white bottle in the UK. If you go to your local Asian grocer, you should be able to find it there. A Philippine white vinegar. It's in a tall white bottle. I don't have one to show you at the moment. Haggis, wild haggis is as dangerous as wild spam, definitely. But you don't really want to come across a wild haggis or a wild spam out in the wild. That's the last thing you want. Thanks, Kenda. For those that weren't here earlier, I also showed them this new thing called the cup of coffee, where you can, if you look in the, let me show you again. If you look below any of my recent videos, you should see this, and there's a Buy Me a Coffee link. If you click on that, you'll go to a page like that, and you can tip me, you can buy me a coffee, or you can buy some FaceTime with me, one-on-one FaceTime. And the best one there, of course, is you get an hour for £19, whatever that is in your currency, and you get an hour's one-on-one with me. That's or just as little as giving me a tip and sending me £5 as a tip. So you can set this up for yourself if you are a YouTuber yourself, or if you're running any kind of online business. You can set yourself up you come to buymeacoffee.com and set up your own page, get your own stuff set up, and then you can put the link in your videos like I've done. So you'll be able to put it in there, like there, Buy Me a Coffee. And there's a couple of others I showed them, and that was the Amazon Influencer Store. You can set up your own storefront in Amazon and just add items to your list when you're doing your normal shopping, and then they will then appear in your Amazon list. I think I showed everybody that in the last live, so if you can go back and check that out, and you'll see all about the Amazon Influencer Storefront. And then the other one is this one down here. It's the Subscribe Star. I don't like PayPal, but I don't like PayPal because of their they were getting involved in censoring people or banning people from their platform because they didn't like what they had to say. And I believe in free speech, so I think free speech is one of the cornerstones of our civilization, and it's very important. And free speech is not always hate speech, it's but there seems to be an assumption that it is. But you can go to subscribestar.com and set yourself up with something like PayPal. If you don't want to use PayPal, you can use Subscribestar, and I think they're a little bit more generous. They don't charge quite as much as PayPal, I think. Right, where am I? Right, adobo chicken, website, Life Helen. I do at times more the food like pork pies and sausages, but now I make them myself to authentic recipes. I do miss the heritage, the castles and all that stuff. Yeah, well, I'd give all that up just to live in paradise. Right there, and that. I never felt more at home anywhere than on that homestead. Really loved it there. Eggs and Vegemite. Always had cheese. Yes. But I keep telling you, Patrick, it's got to be Marmite, mate. That Vegemite stuff. I mean, it's good, but Marmite is better. That's how to wind an Aussie up, boys and girls. Ellen puts cheese on most food. What, you American? Everywhere you go in America, cheese is on everything. Every sandwich, every burger. It's crazy. Unless you specifically ask for it not to be there, you'll get it. Cheese is on everything. I do like cheese on a lot of things, but for instance, I'll put a recipe up, and in the dialogue I'll be saying something like, I deliberately don't put cheese on this, and then the first thing that you get in the comments, usually from someone from the States, is, oh, I would put cheese on that. Of course you would. I do like cheese, and I like it on lots of things, and one of the things I've been eating a lot this end of the year is baked vegetable gratins, because I don't eat carbs at the moment. I'm trying to avoid eating carbs, so I do eat rather a lot of vegetables, and the best way and quickest way to deal with those, and the tastiest way, is to chop them up, put them in a tray and bake them. So that's where the cheese comes in. I do love cheese on a gratin. And ordinary, good old mature British cheddar is perfect for it. Or Canadian cheddar is really good, because that's got a nice bite to it. The Cracker Barrel cheese is rather nice. Yeah, I think it is Emma. Yes, thank you very much. It's my spiritual home. I want you guys to educate Patrick about Marmite. He needs to know. Dear. Vegemite is a fantastic product, and I really like it. If I can't find Marmite and I can find Vegemite, I'll grab it. And sometimes I'll just grab Vegemite for the hell of it, because it's a slightly different texture. So it's Vegemite's slightly more grainy than Marmite, but it's fantastic. It's as good. Flavour wise, I'd go for Vegemite, but texture wise, I'd go for Marmite. So I'm teetering on the brink there, and it depends on my mood at the time when I'm shopping which one I'll buy. I can't always get Vegemite though. Marmite is evil, it has wheat in it, Ellen. In Shiva's the Hindu god, Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma, right? Believe, I'm not sure believe is the word. Right, the sort of things I believe. Right, I was raised in a Methodist Christian household, very Christian, very, very Christian. Right, how do I explain it? Nature teaches me that nothing gets wasted. Even the universe is recycled. It's recycled. It goes through a torial flow. Oh, Emma's going off. So you've got to say good night to Emma, Night, Emma. Lovely. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for being my best friend. And I'll speak to you tomorrow evening. Lots of love to everyone. Bye. Right, so where was it? Spiritual. Listen to Lady Ellen, Pete. Marmite is evil. It's got wheat in it. Yeah. It has got wheat in it. It's the wheat is in there to feed the I think it's basically caused by it's similar to the process that soy sauce is made. It's a yeast extract, and it's a very similar flavour profile to some soy products like the miso, the Japanese miso. Kind of similar, but not quite as strong. Marmite is a much stronger flavour. So what I believe is that nature teaches us that we shouldn't really talk about religion, no, but nature teaches us that everything is recyclable. So I believe in what I believe is that to me God is we're put on this place for a reason. We're not just an accident. We're here for a reason, and I believe that reason is to learn, and everything we know when we pass away, I believe that nature doesn't waste that. I believe that goes somewhere. So everything you learn as a human being, every animal learns goes, and I believe animals have souls too. I believe that goes into some kind of great firmament, and I believe that is God. That great knowledge, that vast, huge knowledge and all-encompassing knowledge is God. That's kind of what I believe. So, am I still Christian? Fundamentally, yes, because that was the building blocks of who I am. So I can't deny it. That is the building blocks of who I am. So anyway, I'm not going to go any further into religion because it's one of the religion, politics, and other things should not be discussed. I don't think this is not the forum for it. But just so you know where I'm coming from. I don't know. Do you know we have actually wild wallabies in the UK, Patrick? Did you know that? I think I've told you that before, though, mate. Yeah, karma. I like those instant karma videos. They're great, you know, when someone's been a bully and gets it right back in their face. I love that. I love those sort of things. Retribution, instant retribution, and that. But I do discuss karma a lot in my life. I discuss karma with my friends, my closest friends, because and we often say karma's a bitch. You know, if you misbehave, it can come back at you. What goes around comes around was often said in my family. You got bitten by a tiger cub. You got some strange habits, Helen. Tiger cub. Yeah, since I bought a book of the English countryside, a wonderful book in the 80s, and it was a beautiful illustrated, augmented book, and it had a picture of a wallaby in it, and it was listed as official British fauna because of escapes from zoos. So there are a lot of creatures. there was one stupid incident a few years back where a bunch of bloody idiots thinking they were do-gooders released a load of mink from a mink farm. They were being farmed for their fur, and so these utter idiots released them into the wild. They just went in and opened up all the pens, being all full of their own importance, and the mink got out and they started destroying all the wildlife along the riverbanks. So the water voles were all being destroyed. The mink just ran rampage, killing everything along the water banks, and the result of it was that the minks had to be hunted down and destroyed. So the do-gooders did nothing good, and that's typical. We're seeing it all around us at the moment. People who are virtue signalling and supposed to be doing a load of do-gooding, and they're actually doing a lot of harm. And it's not a very nice environment to live in. We don't enjoy the same happiness that we had 20 years ago. It's nothing like it now. It's very constricting right now. So I think we're going to come to that's all going to come to a head, because tyranny very seldom survives a generation. Anyway, I've said it. It's very true. Do-gooders are useless. They're the worst kind, and they're also full of their own importance as well, and they're very dangerous because they're like that. And people who assume they've got a right to tell you how to live, and they haven't. Everyone's got a right to live their own life, their own way. Ellen, that I know someone who owned a zoo. Pablo Escobar. And that's another one about wild animals getting out, because after Pablo Escobar's I think it was it called the Hacienda Ranch or something in Colombia, where he had this vast ranch, this vast estate, filthy rich, of course, from his cocaine dealing. He decided he wanted a zoo, so he had a zoo, and he had all these animals shipped in from all over the place, and there are now hippopotamuses or hippopotami in Colombia. They're wild. There are wild hippos in Colombia because of his zoo. After his ranch was trashed by the military and the police, all these animals escaped into the wild. A lot of them did anyway. So they just left them, because these, hippos, you don't mess with hippos. Hippos kill more people than crocodiles in Africa. In fact, I think they kill more humans than any other African animal. Something like that. Yeah, they're killers. It's because I think the reason they're killers is because they're big, dangerous animals, and they don't look dangerous. Hi, Nisha. Thanks for joining us, Nisha. Wild haggis. Wild spams are as dangerous as hippos. Wild spams. Yeah, I think we're going into a full lot. I think we will. France and Germany have gone into a total paranoid lockdown, and I think we will too. It's a worry. Or in France, they're saying they can't leave there, and it's like that in Wales at the moment. We're not supposed to leave the county of. I'm not supposed to leave Denbighshire, but I can still go down to Llangollen because that's in Denbighshire. But I think in France they're saying you shouldn't go more than a couple of kilometres from your home, or 1 kilometre from your home. In France, it's real draconian stuff. and they're basing it on apparently there's some kind of resurgence of it, but I'm very skeptical about it, the whole thing. I'm very skeptical about it. I think it's got more to do with people control than science. Yeah, I've been cut by a wild span when on the edge of the tin. Yeah, that's the trouble with carbs, is they're also damn delicious, aren't they? Like chips and and pancakes and pasta and spuds and rice. I mean, it's all gorgeous to eat. And you walk down the supermarket and there's all those lovely crunchy salty snacks, and they're all full of carbs. This is what I've had to give up, boys and girls. This is what I have had to give up so that I can stay with you a few more years. Unless the Rona gets me. Ellen, are you actually British? You do know that is a very dangerous thing to say. The Vegemite is down under. That's what that is. I like them both. It does. Yep. Vegemite definitely rocks. It's nearly as good as Marmite. It's like me and my brother, innit, arguing about when we put scones together. Right, here's one for you, Lady Ellen. Scones, jam first or cream first? That is the question. Salt and vinegar crisps when you get out of the swimming baths. I wish I could see your faces now. You two, you're incorrigible. Aye. So Nisha is from Trinidad, right, Nisha? But you live in the States, I think. Didn't you say that last time, last week? I'm terrible with names. I remember things, but I don't remember names. See there, look. Did you see that flash up on the screen? That wrong thing. It's wrong. You should use Marmite. Actually, no, he's allowed to because it's an Australian meat pie. He can cook that lad, you know. He's good. Jam first. I am shocked and stunned. Cheesy chips. Yeah, I don't do chips anymore, but cheesy chips. Yum. I tell you what's nice. You know that Mornay sauce, that cheese sauce I made. That's nice with chips because it's like all gloopy and like really thick gravy, and it just sticks to the chips really nice, rather than a load of grated cheese dumped on chips. The cheese sauce is actually better. But did you see what Carol wrote there? Jam first on scones. You can go off people, you know. Right, my brother's a jam first person and I am a cream first person, because the cream we use is proper cream. For the real best cream to use for a cream tea is to use clotted cream, Cornish clotted cream, and that is like butter anyway. You spread it thick on the, and then top it with the jam, and then it looks really gorgeous because you got the scone, then you've got the cream, and then you got the pretty jam on top, and it looks gorgeous. Tastes the same, but I think definitely cream first, but then, you know, each to their own. Any more questions? Come on, guys, quick fire me some questions. How long we've been on now? 95 minutes ago. Blimey. So we'll take it up to the well, we'll take it as long as it needs to go, but I'll try and keep it to 2 hours. Yeah, I'll have to let me find that for her. Right, Ellen, let's find it for you. What was it? Spam. Did you say spam? Spam fillets. Yeah, this is the one. And now I'll post that in there. That's better. Yeah, it's I was feeling all kind of weird that day, and I did. Did you see my postmodern eggs? I was feeling a bit silly that day as well. I don't drink. I know. I have an occasional beer, but I don't drink, and I'm still mad as a hatter. Anybody want to see any pictures of me when I was in the army? Yeah. I should have got a George Cross for that. Dealing with a wild spam, armed with only a kitchen knife. Yeah, now it'd be even worse. That's definitely, yeah, I'm used to army pics. Alright, let me dig them out. Pictures. Army. So, pictures. Hang on, I'll get there in the end. Army. It's finding ones with me in it though. Yeah, there's some that are hard to see, but let me put that on the other screen. And then let's see if I can't. So that one, that was in this very between 75 and 78, and I'm this chap here. It's not a very good picture. It's a very small one as well. I had a friend of mine from those days. I know all these guys. I'm still in touch with him, and him. So I'm still in touch with them from all those years ago. That was the block we lived in Germany. It's an old German barracks. This is where they used to put their rifles. That's derelict now. This is a guy showing me when we had it. It had to be all shiny and clean, but it's a bit run down now. I need to go up. Right. That's one of me. That's in Northern Ireland. It was in an army bomb disposal unit back then, them days, in my crazy days. And that was, yeah, I don't want to show the one with his face. And these were the vehicles we'd operate. That's the Humber Pig. It was based on a Humber 1-ton truck, but it actually weighed 8 tons, and it was all armoured. And we used to use that if we went into the hard areas of Northern Ireland. That was our insignia. Yeah. Long time ago. Better times now, I'm glad to say. These are some fun ones. That's me driving an AEC 10-ton truck. I do look happy, don't I? Got a moustache on, looking like a munchkin. That's in an RL Bedford. Left hooker. It was a left hooker too. That was in Germany. And that's me back in England. This is my dog Tinker. This would have been round about 1986, maybe 85, 86. Yeah. That was my dog Tinker. He was lovely, he was. We brought him back from Hong Kong. Got him in Hong Kong and then brought him back. Cost me a bloody arm and a leg. That's... This is myself. Mac, I've got friends that are in touch with him and I need to get back in touch with Mac. And this is a Norwegian girl. And then the one I'm blowing kisses at was the Norwegian girl I was with at the time. And that was in Greece in 1978. Long time ago. I used to smoke then as well. And that's me doing up my chin strap. Or was a shaving. Something crazy anyway. There's that's a FNFAL, or as the British called it, the SLR with a blank firing attachment on it. So that was on exercise, or preparing for exercise, or looking by the state of my boots. It looks like we'd just come back. That's me. In the bottom half of my clothing there is a nuclear, biological and chemical warfare suit, an MB suit, or a noddy suit as we called it back then. Trusty SLR, my gloves, my Gary Gore-Tex jacket, and the first pattern of Kevlar helmet we had. Let's go back to that. Still got that munchkin moustache look, boys and girls. That's me with a really good old friend I'm still in touch with called Pete Wells. He also served in 321 EOD, but not at the same time as I did. He served, I think he served until he was about 50 years old. No, he didn't. He served until he was 40, and then he's been in the UOTC. I think it was something like a UOTC, something like that, for one of the big public schools in Britain, which is a private school, but we won't go into that. Yeah, I can't remember that way. It looks a bit like Swallow Falls in up near Betws-y-Coed, but that would have been after Hong Kong, because I'm wearing the clothing. I know I had all this tailored while I was in Hong Kong, so that was me back then. That's me acting the idiot over that end. I'm still in touch with Gilbert Boyle. Still in touch with Dirk Wilson. Pete Husak, he died in a car crash not long after this was taken. Greg and Steve Evans, I don't see any of them anymore. Charlie Ballinger, I don't see any of them anymore. Old friends from a long time ago. That's me teaching a survival class. What would have been round about 86, 87. 87 I think that was. That's me running in the Travis Clark. I think that was one of the 400 metres heats. I was alright at that distance. Having a bit of fun. Crazy party. We used to have some good parties when I was in the army. Back to me again. So that's me. So you've seen all them old army pictures. I don't. Oh yeah, there's a couple from Hong Kong that you might not have seen. That's the police on the island. They're all Sikhs, and that's me. I'm still in touch with Alan Biddulph and a couple of these people through the Stone Cutters Island. I'm not in touch with Connie. I'm trying to find Connie on the Stone Cutters Island thing, but there were some great times. I still look like a munchkin with my moustache on. Alan Biddulph here is a great lad, he is. Great sense of humour. He's tall and he's nearly as good looking as me as well. Just won't be done, will it? And yes, there are junks in Hong Kong Harbour. You still see them. You certainly did in my day. And that was Stonecutters Island where I lived. Most of this is raised now, or there's not a lot of it left. Stonecutters Island has become just another part of the mainland. They've filled in the space between Stonecutters Island and Sham Shui Po. Yeah. Back then it was an island. I'm not in this picture, I don't think. No, Alan Biddulph is. Charlie, he was quite a character, he was. Peter the driver, he used to fish on the dock with him. Connie again. Tirath Singh, he was a good friend. Stella Ma, she was lovely. Some great lads there as well. Yeah, good old army days. Hong Kong at night. I think one of these is the view from Alan Biddulph's window of his flat when he lived there. And that's the old military corrective training centre, but it wasn't in use as a military corrective training centre. And we called this little place here, we called that the upside down house, because the bedroom was at the top, at the bottom, and the living rooms were at the top. And I lived over this way, just out of sight over here. That's a dog. Her name was Chow Fan, which means fried rice. And you can see by the black tongue she was part Chow Chow. That's me here, look, wearing the white hat. And this is about a ton of ammonium gelatin dynamite. And that's another ton. That's more. That's all dynamite all around there. So if that place went up, we'd have been blown to smithereens. You wouldn't have, even my teeth would have been dust. That's more of it. So I'd ship something like 40 tons of that out to the. Sorry, it'd be about 40 tons really of this out to the jetty every morning. I need to go out to the various blasting sites all around Hong Kong. The British military were in charge of the commercial explosive, and we issued it to the Hong Kong Mines Division. And that was that had been in place since the '68 riots, apparently. Yeah. I don't look very comfortable there. It's probably because I wasn't very comfortable. That's me again at the back. That was some sort of mess function. And this is Colonel Keating was in this picture as well. He was a great officer. He was excellent officer. I think he was ex-Argyles, but he came to us. He was the officer commanding of the training battalion for a while, and then, or the training wing, and then he went to Hong Kong as the colonel commander. Great guy. I last saw him in about 80. Would have been 88, 89. Yeah, the winter of 88 was skiing with him in Bavaria, in Sonthofen. That's me in a slightly advanced state of refreshment in Hong Kong. That was Typhoon Ellen, the aftermath. And back to the beginning. So that's it. That's all the photos I'm going to show you, boys and girls. Who's still here? I thought you'd all be gone by now. 6 of you. You are gluttons for punishment, aren't you? Yeah, I put a few on Facebook. Yeah, for those who's on. How come Ellen's not on Facebook? What's wrong with you? Come on, girl. Join us. We're crazy. I've posted at least one of your photos to one of your videos to Facebook, Ellen. Yeah, I've had a bit of a crazy life, Carol. I have a bit of a crazy time. I have. Shall I put a different video up? Or do you want to watch that one? Answers on a postcard, please. go. I've just put up my wild spam fritters. Spam fritters, mushy peas and chips.
All right.
You know it makes
Fillets
sense.
of spam in a herb crust.
I had to
For
put
this,
the egg
you will need a spam. This is one we shot in the wild.
on top of the spam, just to keep it under control.
We couldn't get the butcher to cut it up, so we're going to have to cut this one up ourselves. And we need some sage for this one.
Really simple,
I've got
really.
some dried sage there. Some English mustard. Some corn flour.
You know it.
And some
Spam.
bread, which we're going to turn
It's
into
spam
bread
o'clock,
crumbs.
boys and girls.
So the drier the better,
Spamity
actually. So
spam,
you see
wonderful
the edges have turned up, it's rather
spam.
dry. And
Yeah.
some oil for frying.
That's
And
one of my
an
favourite
egg
recipes.
to help
Has
coat
anybody
the
got any more questions?
fillets
Because we're
of
getting
spam.
near to
We're going to serve this with
very near
an English
to,
delicacy
the
known
time
as
I need
mushy
to be
processed peas.
calling it a night.
And because my brother and I
And
are
letting you all
originally
go.
from Nottingham, we're
5 more
going to put
minutes,
some
so if
mint
you've got any
sauce
questions,
into that
fire
as
them
well,
away now.
because that's just a Nottingham thing. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is make up the crust, the herb crust, which I'm going to make some breadcrumbs. And one of the best ways I know of making breadcrumbs is to get bread and crumb it up. I'm just putting those 2 slices, the crust and the in there. I'm going to put a pinch of sage. Sage goes extremely well with wild spam, as does pepper. I'll put plenty of pepper in. Plenty of pepper.
I know, I'm addicted
sea
to
salt, kosher
adrenaline.
salt, whatever you got, something
But
good.
when I
that in
was
there.
when I was
And then I'll
working
take
in
that
bomb
away. I'll
disposal,
spare your ears and whiz that up off
I
camera.
discovered that
You've got
adrenaline
to
is
be
something
extremely
that's brown
careful
and
when you
runs
fill
down
it
your
in wild
legs.
spam, because you could cut yourself very easily on the can.
Yeah.
So what you do is you follow the instructions on the can and you remove the lid like that. And one thing I like to do
Come on,
is I get
guys.
a can opener and just run along
We're
the
going to
seam
be
at the back.
calling it a night.
As you can see, it's struggling a bit. That's because it's wild spam. You can get domesticated spam, but the flavour isn't quite as good.
I need a
So what
cup
I'm
of
gonna
hot
do
tea. I've
is
only got
struggle with that
cold.
until it comes out of the can. So after employing a lot of harsh language and techniques I learned in the British military,
Yeah.
I've been able to remove the spam.
That's my problem. I
from
just
the
haven't
can.
had enough counselling.
The flavour profile of wild
Johnny
spam
B.
is much better than
From Radford.
domestic
blimey.
spam. You know, it's
Right.
much better. So what I'm
Radford. Who
going to
did they
do,
know from Radford?
I'm going to fillet this now.
Manny
by
Winter, Cohen
dropping the
Winter.
knife through it,
He was a
half
Jamaican
in
lad
it,
from
and then
Radford.
half in those halves again,
He was with me in.
like that.
He was with. I first met Cohen, Manny, we called him in.
And I'll open that up just to do a quick reveal and show you how
When he was serving in
deliciously
Battus in
meaty wild
Canada.
spam is.
In the
Alright,
British
the
Army
next thing
training
we need to
unit
do
at
is set up
Suffield
my,
near Medicine Hat in
breading
Canada.
station, and I'll get that all set up for you and come back to
Stayed
you.
friends, and we're still friends. I recently found him on
One thing
Facebook.
that really improves the flavour
we're
of
still
wild
friends.
spam is
great lad,
English
also.
mustard.
Great lad.
So what
He is a
I've
great
got
lad.
here is a pot of English mustard. You can use Dijon. It works just as well.
Born in Radford. I was born in Hucknall,
And you
mate.
spread the mustard onto the fillets of wild spam like that,
Yeah.
and then you drop it
And
right
my dad
there
was born
into
in
the
Bulwell.
corn flour, and then
Yeah,
you
I've
can
got
coat
some-
the other side like that.
I had a lot more
And then you just
photos once
make
upon
sure
a time,
each
but
side
they
is dusted in
I,
corn flour,
unfortunately
and then
I
knock off
lost them in a fire.
the bits you don't need, and then that goes into the egg wash. Turn that around
Heidi hi,
straight
Heidi ho.
into your breadcrumb mix.
GB's in
So
the
it's
house,
very
boys and
simple,
girls. He
straightforward
would
breading
come just now,
process.
just as I was about to wrap up.
And then
GB!
if you get any bits like that fall
Woo!
off, it goes back into the egg, back into the breadcrumbs. Like that. So you want a nice,
Excellent.
rich, herby crust on each of those wild spam fillets. And then that goes straight into the oil. So you can see there with consummate skill, I've opened the can of mushy peas and I've put them into a saucepan and I'm warming them up. I'm warming them up fairly slowly because I don't want them to burn on the bottom. So what we do now is we take our breaded spam fillets
Sorry about that.
and we drop them into the fat. I'm going to turn that right down because I don't want it cooking too quick. And then I'll just carry on egging those up.
GB's always wrecked.
Breading those up.
What time is it over
And
there?
then
It's
adding
going to
them
be
to the fry pan.
3 maybe 4 hours behind me, so it's going to be 9 p.m. He's going to be wrecked.
Of course, we've all heard the horror stories of people using
GD.
inferior spam and
Right.
cooking them in batter. But
If you've got a channel
I'm
and you
just
want to
too
be
posh for that.
noticed,
So I'm going to cook
put an
my
X in
spam
the comments
in
like
a
that.
crust, just to make it all the more delicious.
GB.
Okay, as soon as your spam is cooked perfectly on both sides, you set that
GB's
aside
really
now,
quite a
and you
character.
can take the spam fillets
GB
out
sent
of
me.
there and drain them on kitchen
I've got a
paper.
GB sticker. Look right
As
here.
you can see, I've set the spam fillets
GB
aside.
sent
They're
me,
draining now on kitchen paper.
Some
And
gorgeous
that
spice
tells me
mix,
that
which
my air
I've run
fryer
out of
is
now because I
finished
loved
cooking the
it too
chips.
much. You know.
So now we're going to turn.
I've had
to
to
the
make
mushy
up my own
peas, make
spice
sure they're
mix because I
perfect.
started using it and I enjoyed it
mushy peas
so much.
and
So
some British
with the
mint
last little
sauce.
bit, I was tasting
You need
it and
one
testing it and putting my
couple
own
of
stuff
teaspoons
together
of
and
those
trying to
in
get
there and give it a
somewhere
good
in the
old stir.
ballpark of
And then
GB's
that's ready to
recipe.
serve.
But
Wonderful.
the one I've made, typical
So
for
there
me,
you have
ended
it,
up being
fillets
too
of wild
hot because I
American
put too much
spam
cayenne in it. But
with
I'm not gonna
English
waste
mushy peas, dressed with mint sauce and
yeah,
chips, or what some of you might call French fries.
meat hits
A
fat.
great meal.
Wild spam tins. Yeah, you can use them, right? If you're very careful with your spam tin at the end of it, it's used as a spam tin. You can wash it out and use it to cut spam-shaped cookies. So you use it as a cookie cutter. So you get, I mean, what is better than spam-shaped cookies? Or if you, heaven forbid, you try to make your own spam, you've actually got a tin mould to make it in. Perfect. So we don't waste anything around here, not even spam tins. You are an inspiration, mate. You are crazy inspiration. Yeah. There's you've got GB right now in the woods near you. You've got Amantias, haven't you, growing everywhere in this country. It's
If you
because
have
of a
enjoyed
legal
this video,
loophole.
please give it a thumbs
they're
up.
still legal to use.
If you would
over
like
here
to
as well.
follow my channel, please subscribe
Amantia,
and be sure to
because
click
it
the
doesn't
bell
contain
icon
psilocybin,
to receive
but it contains
notification
another
of all my
psychotropic
upcoming
instead.
videos. Thanks for watching.
Interesting stuff. There's one girl who's on YouTube. Her name is Amanita. That's it, not Amanita. Amanita something. And she makes edibles out of them. Chewables.
Alright, fillets of spam in a herb crust.
I might find you that. I'll
For
find
this,
that.
you will
So,
need
there's a link. Paste it in
a
there.
spam. This is one we shot in the wild, and we couldn't get the butcher to cut it up, so we're going to have to cut this one up ourselves. And we need some sage for this one. I've got some dried sage there, some English mustard, some corn flour, and some bread, which we're going to turn into breadcrumbs. So the drier the better, actually. So you'll see the edges are turned up, it's rather dry. And some oil for frying.
There we go. And this will be
And
one of the last
an
things
egg
to do.
to help coat the fillets of spam.
Yeah.
We're going
We
to
find
serve
in the
this
UK
with
that this is a
an
loophole
English
because
delicacy
what
known
they,
as mushy
what they banned
processed
is
peas. And because my brother and I are originally from Nottingham,
What they
we're
banned
going
was
to put some mint
psilocybin,
sauce into that as
and,
well, because that's just a
amanitas
Nottingham
don't
thing.
contain.
Alright, so the first thing I want to do is make
psilocybin.
up the crust, the herb crust, which I'm going to make some breadcrumbs.
Carol,
And one of the best
good night,
ways I know of making
lovely.
breadcrumbs is to
Thank
get
you
bread
for joining
and
us.
crumb it up. I'm
See
just
you
putting
next
those
week.
2 slices, the crust and
I
the
think I'll do one of these
in
a
there.
week
I'm
now.
going to put
Why not?
a pinch of sage. Sage goes extremely well with wild spam, as does pepper.
Good night, GB. I'm
put
going
plenty
to
of
sign
pepper
off
in.
now anyway. So, post my... Yeah, I was
Plenty of
feeling a
pepper.
bit crazy that day.
Pinch of
definitely. So,
sea salt, kosher
I'm
salt,
going to sign
whatever
off
you
now,
got,
boys and
something
girls,
good.
and thank you very
Put that in
much
there.
for joining.
And then I'll take that away. I'll spare
Thanks
your
for
ears and
being
whiz
part
that
of the
up
family,
off camera.
because I see you
You've
all
got to be
as
extremely
family.
careful when you
You're
fill
my
it in
friends
wild
on
spam,
family. And,
because you could cut
if it's
yourself
in my
very
gift
easily
to
on
help
the
you, I
can.
will.
So what you do is you follow the instructions on the can, and you remove the lid.
I think what
like
I'll do now
that.
is I'll
And one thing I like to do is I get
cut
a
you
can
loose and I'll
opener
go and make myself
and
a
just
nice
run
cup of
along the
tea.
seam at the back. As you can see, it's struggling a bit. That's because it's wild spam. You can get domesticated spam, but the flavour isn't quite as good. So what I'm going to do is struggle with that until it comes out of the
Oh,
can.
let's find this thing. Where was it?
So after employing a lot of harsh language and techniques I learned in the British military,
See where I am.
I've been able to remove the spam from the can. The flavour profile of wild spam is much better than domestic spam. You know, it's much better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fillet this now by dropping the knife through it,
Right.
half in it,
What?
and then
Oh,
half
wait.
in those halves again. Like
GB
that.
says, oh, wait.
And I'll open that up just to do a quick reveal and show you how deliciously meaty wild spam is.
Oh, did it?
Alright, the next thing I
didn't
need to
flash
do is
here.
set
I
up
don't
my
think it did anyway.
breading station, and I'll get that all set up for you and come back to you.
No, I
So
didn't
one
see it
thing
this
that really
end, mate.
improves the flavour of wild spam
I didn't see it, GB.
is English mustard.
If
So
it was
what
being
I've got here
moderated,
is
I
a
would
pot
have
of
seen
English
it.
mustard. You can use
So it
these
might
on.
have been packet loss or
It works
something.
just as well.
You get a
and
lot
you
of that
spread
with
the mustard
live streams.
Onto the fillets of wild spam, like that, and then you
Oh,
drop
they've
it
deleted my comment from your tube.
right there into the
Why is that?
corn flour, and then you can coat the other side like
Honestly,
that, and then you just
it's
make
going
sure
too
each
far. Isn't
side
it? I was
is
talking about
dusted in
censorship
corn
earlier.
flour,
It's going way too far.
and
I
then
mean,
knock off
when you know,
the bits you
if
don't need,
if you ask a few
and then that goes into the egg wash,
experts on things
turn
like
that
civilization, they'll say that
and then
free
straight
speech is a
into
cornerstone
your
of it.
breadcrumb mix. So it's
But,
very
no,
simple,
nowadays it's hate
straightforward
speech,
breading
isn't it?
process.
It's gone too far.
And then
I
if you
think,
get any bits like
I
that
think
that
there's
fall
gonna be
off, go
backlash
back
for
into
that.
the egg, back into the breadcrumbs. Like that. So you want a nice, rich, herby crust
You're
on
welcome.
each
You're
of those
welcome, Ellen. Right,
wild spam
that's
fillets.
it, boys and girls. I'm cutting you
And then
loose.
that goes straight into
And
the oil.
I love you and leave you.
So you can
Again,
see there with
thank you for
consummate
joining me.
skill, I've opened the can
Thanks
of
everyone for coming
mushy
along.
peas and I've put them into
And,
a saucepan.
we've all
and
made
I'm
some friends,
warming
had a
them
good
up.
laugh
I'm warming them up fairly slowly
See.
because I don't want them to burn on the bottom.
A few of my
So
old pictures.
what we do now is we take our breaded spam
So
fillets
if anybody else has got any entries they'd like to put into the
and we drop them into the
YouFood
fat.
challenge,
Turn that right
please
down,
put it in
and
now
we'll
because
cook
I'm going to
too
cut it
quick.
off.
And then I'll just carry on
It will end at the end of next
egging
week,
those up.
so by Friday there'll be
readying
no
those
more
up
YouFood
and
challenge.
then adding them
So
to
it
the
looks
frying
like
pan.
we're only going to have 2 entrants for that. No worries, GB. I don't worry about
Of course,
things like that. I
we've
know
all heard
you're,
the horror
I
stories
know
of
you're one
people
the-
using
you're one of the
inferior
good
spam
ones, mate.
and cooking them in batter. But
Right,
frankly,
don't have-
I'm just too posh
Don't
for
have
that.
some. That's wrong
so
thing,
I'm going to cook my spam
Helen. That's
in
wrong
a herb
thing.
crust
Vegemite.
just to make
That's
it all the
wrong
more
thing.
delicious.
Marmite. Right thing.
Okay, as soon as your spam is cooked
And on that
perfectly on
note,
both sides,
good night,
you
lovelies.
set that aside now, and you can take the spam fillets out of there and drain them on kitchen paper. As you can see, I've set the spam fillets aside. They're draining now on kitchen paper.